What's going on, people? It's your boy Tops back again, live for another Tops in the Morning show. Big up everyone in the building, man. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, all of that good stuff. Good to see everyone in the building. And yeah, man, a busy weekend. Obviously, some preseason games as well. And yeah, obviously the news about Alexander Isak potentially going to Liverpool is going to be a sticky one as well, man. Big up everyone in the building. Big up Godfrey says, big up Tops. Bro, hope you're good. Hope you're well, my brother. Good to see you in the chat. As always, my bro. Hope you are well, my guy. Big up Tom Ford as well. Morning, Tops. Big up yourself, Tom. Hopefully you're well as well, my brother. And yeah, obviously we're going to get straight to it, man. Straight to the news. Newcastle striker Alexander Isak rejects a £96 million transfer offer after Liverpool talks. So yeah, man, there's been a lot of talk about this guy here in the last week, not turning up to obviously the preseason tour. Newcastle actually faced Arsenal yesterday, losing 3-2 without him. And yeah, Eddie Howe was questioned if he were going to see him on another part of the tour, and he's just said no, we're not going to see him. So looks like potentially, not even potentially, it's looking highly unlikely that this guy right here is going to be leaving Newcastle. Who's going to go to? It's looking like Liverpool at the minute. It says Newcastle striker and Liverpool transfer target Alexander Isak has rejected a stunning contract offer for $600K a week. Isak informed Newcastle last week that he wants to explore his options this summer, despite having 3 more years on his contract. So yeah, Isak has told Newcastle basically he wants to leave the club. He doesn't want to stay there anymore. He's got 3 years left, but he wants to make a move to a bigger and better club. I don't know whether Liverpool's interest has actually triggered that kind of a response from him, or if he just thought, you know what, this is kind of the right time for me to leave. Again, he's won the League Cup. He's won a trophy for Newcastle, scored in the final against Liverpool, ironically, and got them, secured them. His goals secured them Champions League football as well. So it's not like he's leaving them in a bad space. They are going to be in the Champions League next season and won their first major trophy in 70 years. So yeah, that's probably a positive thing for him. Before he leaves, it says Newcastle spent 63 mil on the Swedish international in 2022 and has seen Isak develop into one of the best strikers in the world. Isak scored 27 goals in all comps last season to help Newcastle win the Carabao Cup and qualify for the Champions League. Yeah, that's literally what I just said. He's had a massive part in that. It says despite tentative transfer rumours early in the season, Isak was expected to stay at the St. James's Park. And this is the thing about makes me laugh, man. Obviously, Newcastle was so bullish before about his staying. He's not for sale. I don't care how much he's going to be. They're putting that 150 kind of price tag to kind of scare people off. And all of a sudden now, obviously, Isak said, you know what, I want to leave. Their stance has just changed completely. They're looking for strikers to replace him now. They look like they're going to be willing to sell. I feel like potentially they want a bidding war so they could get more teams obviously bidding for him. So potentially they could get obviously more money for him. But it does look like only Liverpool are willing to pay the money at this moment in time. I know obviously all the teams have already committed to major transfer signings. So yeah, especially in the Premier League. So I feel like, yeah, Isak's probably only going to be going to Liverpool if he's going to stay in the league. He says, but obviously he dropped the bombshell last week by telling Newcastle he was open to leaving. Isak is yet to join up with the Newcastle teammates on their preseason tour in South Asia, as he's reportedly managing a minor thigh injury. Well, I think that's kind of the reason he's used. But yeah, in reality, I think it's fine. I just think he's hoping not to obviously get injured out there. So he's saying, you know what, let me just not go on the tour altogether so I can make sure I secure my move, man. Big up everyone in the building. Big up Tommy says, yeah, the bid's imminent this week, according to Craig Hope. Yes, I'll definitely get onto that for sure, my bro. Big up yourself. Yeah, but big up, happy Isak Day, LOL. Big up RSML, man. Hope you're well, my brother. Obviously, all you Liverpool fans are gassed. Rightly so as well, because yeah, Isak is a phenomenal player for sure. I said morning. Big up Tom. Big up Owain, man. With the eye emoji, man. Liverpool fan as well. So yeah, man, it's looking like he's gonna go to Liverpool. I can't even lie. Big up RS. It says that Isak, if he stays fit, will get 35 to 40 goals all comps when being fed by Salah, Wirtz, and or whoever is on the left. Morning, Tom. Yeah, listen, I can't even disagree with that. I feel like he's going to get more numbers for Liverpool than he did even for Newcastle, because you've just got better players. Do you know what I'm saying? And again, you're going to dominate more teams. You're going to win more games than Newcastle do in the league in general. So, yeah, I think potentially he could be on for a phenomenal season. It'll be very interesting to see how the dynamic is with Salah and Isak. Is it going to be a thing where they're both getting 35, 40? Is it good? Because we've seen before when, I remember, like, for example, like Real Madrid, when it was Benzema and Ronaldo, Benzema kind of sacrificed his game so Ronaldo could get 50, 60. And then when Ronaldo left, you've seen that massive season that Benzema had when they won the Champions League in 2022, when he got like 30, I think he got like 40 goals or something like that out of nowhere, where before he was getting 10, 15, 12. But obviously he was accommodating to Ronaldo, making sure he gets a load of goals, so he'd sacrifice some chances, etc., etc. So yeah, I'd be interested to see the dynamic between obviously Salah and Isak. Is it a thing where someone else is going to provide him for both of them? Is Salah going to take a backwards role? Because again, everyone talks about Salah's goal last season, or goal, sorry. He did win the assist award as well. So he did get the most assists. Again, nearly breaking the record for that. I think he's got 18 in the end. Record's obviously 20. So yeah, that's another kind of part of his game, which he's definitely improved on Salah the last couple of seasons. So it might be a thing where maybe Salah scores a little bit less, but again, Isak gets much more, but then obviously Salah gets much more assists. So, but either way, I think it's all positive news for Liverpool. It says Liverpool have expressed an interest in signing Isak since he revealed he was open to a summer move, but Newcastle still want well over 100 million for the striker. I think it's going to be in the region between 135 to 145. I think that's going to be like the sweet spot, in my opinion, depending on add-ons and whatever. I think Newcastle are going to be willing to accept that, man. Which again, to be getting that for a striker that, let's be honest, man, has been one of the best. But they bought for 63 million. They're going to make double profit on him. So in that respect, man, and he's won them the trophy. He literally scored the winning goal in the League Cup final that won them the trophy. So yeah, I think he's definitely repaid that kind of 63 million pounds, and you're going to double your money on him as well. So yeah, I think they can't really be too annoyed about it, to be honest with you. It said only slot sanctioned Liverpool's 69 million pound move for obviously Frankfurt's forward Hugo Ekitike earlier this month, but the Premier League champions are also interested in bringing Isak to Anfield. Isak has also attracted interest from the Saudi Pro League, with Al Hilal offering the forward a contract worth a stunning 32 million a year, tax-free, with lucrative bonuses on top. That's crazy, man. As well as pocketing 600k a week over 3 years. Isak has been promised a further 3.6 for winning, obviously, the Saudi Pro League, and 1.75 for finishing as the top division top scorer, according to the Sun. That'd be crazy money. But I think it just goes to show that it's not always about money. It's not always about making the most money. Sometimes people want to obviously have a proper legacy and also win trophies at the highest level and be regarded as a top striker in the world, man. And I feel like in Saudi, even though their quality of players and quality of teams are improving, we've seen that with Al Hilal beating Manchester City in the Club World Cup. I still think, again, they've got a long way to go to be regarded as going to that league as one of the best leagues, and two, being one of the best players in the world, even though you play in that league. So yeah, I think staying in the Premier League is probably Isak's main priority. Says Al Hilal finished second in the Saudi Pro League last season and recently poached Inzaghi from the Champions League finals into Milan. Despite the incredible sums of money, Fabrizio Romano says Isak has rejected all approaches from Al Hilal and informed the club he intends to remain in Europe. Liverpool will not come close to matching Al Hilal's contract proposal, but can offer Isak the chance to win major trophies on the only slot. As well as the signings as Ekitike, Liverpool have bolstered Liverpool have bolstered slots Premier League champions with the signings of Florian Wirtz, Jeremy Frimpong, and obviously Kirkes as well. Big up everyone in the building. Let me get back to the comments. It says 3 more signings that we need. I think Isak, Fofana, and Guehi. I mean, I think you're definitely going to get Isak. I think you'll get Guehi. I'm not sure about Fofana. Maybe as well. I don't know. I feel like, again, when Nunes goes as well, I think Nunes is obviously going to be replaced by Isak. I think, again, Fofana or another winger is going to obviously replace Diaz, and then Guehi is going to replace Kwanzaa. So it kind of is a one in, one out. But I think the good thing about obviously what you guys are doing is that you're improving the quality of the players coming out that's going in. So yeah, I think probably you will probably get free, Tom, thinking about it now, because again, you're just kind of replacing the guy and the kind of guys that you're going to be selling. Nunes is definitely going 100%. So yeah, he'll be out the door for sure. We got away. This is if Isak is currently injured, then the price should be 110. I don't think he's away, bro. I think they're just saying that so he doesn't actually go on preseason tour, so then he doesn't actually get injured on the tour. I think they're just obviously it's just what players do, man. When they're trying to go for a move, these mysterious injuries come out of nowhere to make sure that they kind of secure that kind of move. Because again, the last thing you want is a player that's obviously playing and then they end up getting injured. I feel like, again, that's probably why you didn't see for Arsenal, Reece Nelson or Lukonga. You know, you're not really seeing these kind of guys playing preseason, even though they're there that much, because again, we're trying to secure a move away from the club. So, it's less likely they're getting injured if they're not playing. Big up RS, he says, I think we need 2 centre-backs. Gomez not reliable anymore. So Guehi and Cresswell, I think, might come in. 2 is not obviously a bad shout either, bro, because I feel like, again, you're probably right. Gomez is a guy that, again, you can't really rely on being like proper cover because, again, he has a lot of injury problems. We had the same thing, Arsenal fans, with Tomiyasu, even like Calafiori at the minute, he went down injured. These kind of guys that you can't really rely on being your kind of backup or kind of cover, because if they get injured, then that means you're playing your first team players literally every single week because you've got no cover because they're injured. So yeah, I agree, bro. I think potentially you could get you probably need to. I don't know if you'll get to, man. You spent a lot of money already. Again, I think the main thing is probably getting Guehi in because obviously he's a guy that's top quality. and then maybe you might get another one in January or something, or you know what, next summer. But yeah, I definitely think you'll get one for sure. That was just the whiplash from his head turning so fast. He's okay. LOL. I said I know. LOL. May also be a tactic to lessen the transfer price as well. This is a Wayne. Yeah, maybe. Newcastle fans are calling him greedy. If he wants, if he was, he would have took the 600k. He wants to win Premier League, Champions League, create a legacy. He can get the big bags in his 30s from Saudi. Yeah, that kind of thing about the Saudi, that will always be there, bro. We've seen it with Salah. Even potentially Salah could go to Saudi, even when his contract finishes at Liverpool, if he really wants, man. Because again, I think Saudi don't really have kind of an age limit on when they kind of go for players. If you've got kind of some kind of name, obviously they want to bring that kind of name to their league to really kind of help promote it. So yeah, I agree, man. I think players can just go there whenever they feel like it, in my opinion, if they want to go there. Obviously, it's a bit of a culture change as well. But yeah, I agree, man. I definitely don't think it's about the money. I think it's literally about winning the Premier League, winning the Champions League. Liverpool are in a better state to do that than Newcastle are. That's just facts. Obviously, Liverpool won it last year, the Premier League. I mean, so yeah, I think that's probably the main kind of reason he wants to go there. And fair play. I mean, again, it's going to really strengthen the Liverpool team. And I feel like, again, it gives you a bigger chance to win the Premier League and the Champions League in the same kind of season, man. Because again, you've got Salah and Isak who can both alternate, can play one or the other, or play them both at the same time, and they both are capable of scoring 25, 30 league goals. So yeah, it's crazy, man. Big up RS is I think they don't want to block Rio's path. They want him to get some game time, in my opinion, potentially as well. Big up everyone in the building. It says big up Tom Ford. It says Al Halal backup striker plan from Isak is Nunes, so might be able to get 60 to 65. Yeah, bro. When I seen that, Tom, bro, I was flabbergasted. Fair play, because I thought, you know what, maybe Nunes again, he's not had the best time at Liverpool, and maybe you might be able to get like a 50, 55, which still would have been very, very good, considering you spent what 70, 75 on him, something like that. He's not had an amazing time at Liverpool. Obviously, he won the Premier League last season, but in terms of his overall individual play, not been one of the best players for obviously Liverpool in terms of striker wise. To get 50 plus is still good. I'm hearing, like you said, you're going to be getting 60, 65, nearly maybe even 70 million for him. Is a sensational business, man. I gotta say, I gotta applaud Liverpool, and I've got to applaud Chelsea as well, man. The way you guys sell players is crazy, like really, really impressive, man. Because again, some of these players are not kind of the players that are really loved by the fans anyway. So it's not like fans are going to be obviously up in arms with obviously you guys selling them. And you managed to get big money for these guys. Even Diaz getting 65, 70 million for him, man. Fantastic business, considering again you've kind of made profit off a guy that's got 2 years left. He's got older since you bought him, and yeah, you're making massive profit on him. So yeah, fantastic stuff, man. Fantastic stuff. But yeah, man, big up spirit of Liverpool fans. Hello everyone, how you're doing? I'm doing good, all good, brother. Hope you are well, my guy. Hope you're good. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You never walk alone. Big up yourself for the comment, man. Really appreciate the support, man. And make sure you guys listen to Spirit of LFC fans. Like and subscribe and share all that good stuff, man. Really helps the channel grow on that. Smash the likes. Come on, people. Make sure you guys do that, man. Big up yourself. Really appreciate you in the building, my bro. Big up like being good on my brother, man. What you telling me, my guy? Hope you are good. Big up Tops and big up yourself, man. Hopefully you had a good weekend. Obviously Arsenal winning the game, which is obviously a positive. But yeah, man, hopefully you're good. Hopefully we get some more new signings, man. Definitely have to get onto that later, man. Big up Kurt, my bro, man. What you telling me? Big up Tops. I'm currently in hospital at the moment. I'm in so much pain. Oh, bro, what's happened to you, man? Hopefully you're all right, my bro. Obviously, make sure you look after yourself, my bro. Sorry to hear that you're in hospital, man. Hopefully you're good, my man. And yeah, man, fingers crossed. You come through whatever you're going through, my bro, because that's obviously not good news to hear. But yeah, man, hopefully you are well, my guy. Big up Darren says, big up Tops, man. Big up Darren, my brother, man. Good to see you in the chat as well. Of course. Big up the spirit of LFC fans. He says, Sel, Simicast, Elliot, Ramsey, Williams, Morton, Chiesa. Bro, if you sell all of those guys, man, you're going to be getting some nice little bit of a profit in terms of like, I've heard Elliot's going to be going for potentially 40 to 50 mil, which is a massive profit, as well as Chiesa. You might be getting some profit off him after only buying him for what, £5 million or whatever it was. So yeah, man, it could be a thing where even though you're spending a lot of money, and I think a lot of obviously rival fans are thinking, how are Liverpool able to spend money on Chiesa and then on Ekitike, Wirtz, and now Isak, but then I don't think people are taking into account that Liverpool are probably going to make a lot of money in terms of their selling players. They're probably going to make north of 300 mil. When you look at the likes of Diaz going for 70, the Nunes going for 70, potentially Elliot going for 50, bro, that's nearly 200 mil just right there. Never mind getting rid of Kwanzaa or Kelleher. Like, it all adds up, man. And this 35 million for Kwanzaa and then 20 for Kelleher, it all adds up, bro. And to the point where you're looking at nearly 300 mil of you selling players. So then when you spend 500 mil, for example, let's just say that's the overall kind of fee. It's only really £200 net spend, which is the same as Arsenal at the minute because we're just not very good at selling. So yeah, I think you selling players is very, very key, and I think you probably will sell the majority of those kind of players you didn't name them, bro. But yeah, big up yourself, man. Big up, bro. Big up everyone in the building, man. Big up everyone in the building. Big up. Essie says Napoli should have offered a bit more. I think Nunes would have done well for them, and that league would have suited him a bit more. Yeah, we did say that before, bro. Like I feel like Nunes would definitely suit like a Serie A kind of team. But I think with the Italian clubs, like I said before, bro, they don't really have a plethora of money. They don't really spend a load of money on players. It's normally within that like 35, 40 million pound range. I remember a couple of seasons ago when Juventus were obviously trying to buy players, they were doing like 2-year loans and stuff like that, man. I remember with, I think it was a Locatelli, it was like a 2-year loan and then it was an obligation or something like that. Even with Vlahovic was kind of like a load of add-ons and it was like 35 million euros with a load of add-ons and stuff. So yeah, I don't think they're really synonymous with spending a lot of money at one time. So but yeah, I think him being able to go to Saudi and him being willing to go to Saudi. Remember, he's only like, was he 26, 27? And he's got a World Cup year coming up. I'm actually surprised he doesn't want to stay in a competitive league. But again, if you can push him in that direction, I think they are willing to spend, like you said, the 60, 65, 70 million on him. And I think that'll be a fantastic deal. Says big up Spirit. Says Liverpool need a centre back, CDM and a striker. I think, yeah, you're not really been linked with the you don't really been linked with the CDM at all at the minute. I feel like the striker is going to be Isak. Potentially, you probably maybe need like a left-sided forward to replace Diaz. And then, yeah, the centre-back has to replace, obviously, Kwanzaa leaving as well. The CDM, you've not really been linked with one. I think, again, that might be something you probably do maybe in January or maybe next summer. Because, again, you have done a lot of business, bro, like replacing both your fullbacks, getting a new keeper in as well, getting, obviously, a creative 10 as well, getting, obviously, you've already got one striker, so, obviously, you're going to get Ekitike and potentially Isak too in the same window, then get a left wing. Bro, you've done amazing business, man. A lot of business, amazing business. So, yeah, fair play, man. Fair play. Big up everyone. Big up everyone in the building, man, of course. But yeah, man, big up, bro. Big up, hey, big up Kurt says I'm not okay at the moment, but thanks. Yeah, man. Thoughts and prayers go to you, Kurt, man. Make sure you guys send out your thoughts and prayers to Kurt. Obviously, massive supporter of the channel, man. So big up yourself, brother. I hope you are well and hope you obviously make a swift recovery as well, my guy. But yeah, good to see you in the chat anyway. But yeah, man, hopefully you recover. Big up yourself. Big up Kurt says Darren. Hopefully you recover soon. Of course, I echo that as well, man. Hopefully Kurt can recover as soon as possible. Man, big up Darren, of course, man. Big up everyone in the chat, man. Big up everyone in the chat. Big up ST, my brother, man. What are you telling me, my guy? It says hi tops in the chat. Hope everyone is good. Hope everyone is well, man. Big up ST, of course. Big up Andrew, man, in the building. Arteta spent nearly $1 billion and we still need 2 left-sided players. 100% I agree, man. Again, you got to question how obviously the money has been spent. And yeah, we still do need 2 left-sided players, man. We need to be able to get that in this window as well. I think hopefully Eze will be one of them. And then we need another left winger, out and out top quality left winger, whether it's Rodrigo, Anthony Gordon, Leao, whoever. They need to make sure they spend the money and get it, especially because they've bought Madueke. After seeing the last 2 preseason games for Arsenal, I think it's time to sell Martinelli. I can't lie. I just don't see any kind of improvement. I feel like, again, you're just gonna have the same kind of performances that we've seen last season with him kind of running in straight lines, not looking up. The kind of same thing. It's just, bro, he's just not improved in terms of football IQ wise in the last two seasons, in my opinion. So yeah, I think potentially we do have to sell him. Will Gyökeres go be the final Arsenal transfer signing? Because Darren, I don't think it will be. I think we will sign another player, whether it's Eze or I think we probably will. I think we might have to sell a few players, maybe a Reece Nelson or whoever. The fact that there's news about Gabriel Jesus being sold, I'll have to definitely get onto that later, could be obviously ideal as well. So yeah, I think potentially we will sign another player. Big up Aaron, Andrew, sorry, says Arsenal can't really sell anyone because they're all on crazy wages. Yeah, very, very true. It's making it very difficult to sell the likes of Zinchenko. Even like Reece Nelson, people forget he's on 100k himself. So that's why Fulham don't really want to commit to like an obligation to buy him here, and it's going to be an option again. Gabriel Jesus is on 265. So again, it's going to be hard to actually sell him outright. It might actually have to be a loan with an obligation or an option. So yeah, I agree, bro. The wages are really, really crippling us at the minute. And I feel like, again, we're trying to reset and restart it. Not that I agree with the signing of Madueke, but apparently he's going to be on lower wages. Gyökeres, apparently he's on 140k a week. So it does look like, and even like Mascara, it does look like these guys that he's bringing in, they are going to be on lower wages than the average guys that obviously they were replacing. Look at Tomiyasu, who was never fit. He was on 100K. So yeah, again, it's very, very difficult to get rid of these players who are, one, injury prone, and two, are on massive money, man. Because again, teams don't want to pay the money in terms of the fee and also pay obviously the wages that they are on. Big up RS, he says, I think his place in the national team is fairly secure, even if he goes to Saudi. Yeah, maybe, to be fair, I'm just trying to think of the other options they probably have in that kind of attacking lineup. And yeah, he probably is kind of the guy that's in his prime and maybe willing to obviously score goals for them. So yeah, we're very interested though to see how he gets on for sure. Darren with an emoji, big up Latvian Gunnar. Big up Sean TV says Football 365 reporting that Chelsea rejected £149 offer from Manchester City for Palmer. What? They demanded 250. Pep is a crazy guy. Why would he sell him in the first place? Bro, I just feel like, again, it was more like a Palmer decision of he just refused. He wasn't going to go out on loan. He said, you're either going to start me in your team or you're going to sell me. And I feel like Pep was like, you know what? I don't really think you're ready to be in our starting lineup, considering they were trying to obviously retain the Premier League title again. So they kind of just sold him. Ended up being a bad mistake. Or you could say it was a good, obviously, decision for Palmer to do that, because again, if he would have stayed at City, he might have been bit part. He might not have got obviously an opportunity he did at Chelsea, where he was playing every single week. He's the main kind of guy, and now he's been able to showcase his ability and skills and score a plethora of goals, man. So yeah, I think in terms of City getting 50 million for him, and then Palmer being able to showcase his ability, I think, but either way, it's a kind of a win-win for both teams. But yeah, it's just obviously for City now, it's very peak, because again, they could do with someone like Palmer in their team. Now De Bruyne, obviously Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, all these guys have obviously either left the club or coming to a period of time where they need to be replaced. So yeah, big up Wayne, he says, I would love to see this current team on the clock. Oh yeah, I mean, the thing is as well, like, with the current team you've got, man, with a Klopp style, I feel like it would be just end-to-end, high intensity, like it would be chaos football, man. Some of the kind of biggest kind of scores you could think of, you'll remember them beating, or Liverpool beating Manchester United 7-0 on the Klopp. So yeah, I think it would be kind of crazy if that did happen, man. I said, actually, I'm looking forward to how Slot deploys the team. I think, yeah, I mean, listen, with Slot, again, he's got a nice little mixture of both, man. He can obviously control games and also have that kind of like counter-attacking style in transition. So yeah, I think potentially he could be it could be decent, man. Other big question, why the F did we sign Calafiori? I mean, yeah, the thing is with Calafiori, he actually looked all right. That's the thing, man, in that centre-back position. He was actually looking okay. But yeah, man, we had a massive injury record before we actually signed him. Obviously, I think he did his ACL, and there was potential that he couldn't even play football again. Obviously, he came back and played, but yeah, there was always going to be a massive risk signing him, man. And again, it was his knee again, and I feel like, again, I don't know, man, it could be a Tomiyasu situation. I can't lie. Because yeah, he just keeps getting injured, man, and you can't really rely on a player like that. This is why potentially, even though I said I wanted 2 players on the left, I think we need 3 players on the left. I think potentially we need another left back, especially if you're sending Zinchenko, because how reliable is Calafiori? Not that I want to see him playing left back, but obviously he's our left back option now. Him and obviously Lewis Skelly. You then asking Lewis Skelly to play 60 games at 18 in a position that's not really a position that obviously he is familiar with, in terms of he's normally a midfielder. So yeah, potentially we could see maybe a left back come in, I would say, but we'll have to see how we get on with selling Zinchenko. I said Tariaku to Calafiori with an eye emoji, man. Nah, it's looking like that, brother. It's looking like that, man. It's not looking good. Hopefully he's not injured for too long, but bro, these kind of stop and starts, if you can't keep yourself fit for pre-season, obviously there's a bit of an issue there, considering you were injured on and off the whole of last season, man. You didn't even play 3 or 4 games before obviously you got injured. Obviously, no one wants to get injured. I get that, but at the same time, obviously people are relying on you to be fit, especially if you're cover or you're supposed to be a starting player. So yeah, it's crazy, man. Big up Wayne says Elliot needs to do a Palmer 2.0 for his career. I rate Elliot, man. I think he's a good player, man. I agree. I feel like for me, potentially he should be going to a bigger club. He should be going to a club that's going to be playing him on a regular basis, man, like a Brighton or a Bournemouth or someone like that, to really showcase his ability, man. And then I feel like he'll get some, obviously, more opportunities for sure. Big up RS, he says, why didn't they just loan Palmer to a decent Premier League side and say, go prove yourself then? No, I think he refused, honestly. I think he said, I'm not going out on another loan. You're either selling me or I'm playing in it. So that just kind of sell him, innit? Because he said he just refused to go on one. So yeah, I think he probably was, because again, with loans, it's kind of a difficult one, because again, your kind of career is in limbo, because you don't know, are you going to stay at the team you're at on loan, or are you definitely going to come back and obviously play for your parent club? Because again, when you go out on loan, potentially a team can buy another player in your position and say, okay, you're out on loan, we're going to obviously develop you, but in the meantime, we've got this new star player to really come and play games. And then by the time you come back, it's like, well, you know what, you're not really obviously focusing our plans because our new star player is doing really, really well. So yeah, it's a very difficult one for sure, man. But yeah, I think Palmer obviously at Chelsea's definitely done the right thing for his career. Bill ST says thoughts on Max Dowman. Should he start games in the first team next season? I think he should. Bill yourself ST. Max Dowman, bro. Obviously, it's only been 2 games, and again, it's pre-season. I get that, but for a 15-year-old man, the quality he's shown in terms of football IQ, the fact he can get past players, he's direct, he's confident, he wants to get into the box, he wants to shoot. He's got the quality on the end of it. You know, he's making keepers make these kind of fantastic saves as well. But I definitely think he should be playing some games next season. I can't lie. I think, again, if you're showing the quality at this kind of age, man, I don't think there's any reason why that can't be rewarded. Because, again, you look at the preseason games, he's probably been one of our best players. And he's not even started a game yet. So you got to look at that and think, you know what? If you're doing more than like a Martinelli or a Trossard, for example, on the other side, then you got to take that into account. Obviously, again, he's developing. Obviously, he still needs to get stronger. Again, stuff like that. He still needs to obviously improve his game. Of course, he's only 15. So, yeah, but for a 50-year-old in terms of quality, absolutely sensational. But, yeah, for me, bro, I definitely would be, you know, we've got Carabao Cup games. We've got FA Cup games. We've got, obviously, in the Premier League. I think in those kind of Carabao Cup games, you kind of put him in there and see what he's like and just obviously kind of look after him. Because, again, obviously, a trajectory of a play is not always upwards. Like, sometimes a play can start off really, really well and they can get stagnant, or they could go down a little bit and then come back up. So, yeah, you have to obviously manage that a little bit more. But, yeah, I definitely would want to see him play a couple of games, even if it's coming off the bench and playing, man, because I think he definitely could be a top player for sure. Big Andrew said that left side is a mess. I agree, man. I think that's probably been the massive negative from this preseason tour, watching the games for Arsenal. That left-hand side, man, in general, has just not improved at all. Like, it's just very, very stagnant. There's no kind of attacking threat going down that left. And I think, for me, bro, that just needs new players. I don't even think it's even assistant. That just needs new players that have different kind of skill sets in that kind of area to really kind of progress that kind of side. Because, again, at the minute, man, it's very, very stagnant for sure. Rodrigo is a Liverpool target with a laughing emoji at Luis Garcia. Big up yourself, brother. Oh, yeah, I can't believe that. That's crazy, man. Now, no way Arteta will gamble and start a 15-year-old. Pressure on him, he won't take. Yeah, he won't do it. Like, listen, I don't think, if I'm being honest, I think potentially he might play one game. I think he might bring him on in maybe a Carabao Cup game, depending on who we get, depending if we're winning like 3-0 or whatever. I think potentially you might bring him on and he might play like 5 minutes or 2 minutes or something. That's probably going to be it, if I'm being honest. I don't think he's going to play any part of the Premier League or anything like that. But in terms of my opinion, I definitely would give him a chance, man, and just see how he does. Because, again, I feel like potentially there could be a game where we're struggling to win and we bring him on and he actually does something mad. And you're like, what the hell? Because, again, you know, these players, you're not going to know. Like, no one would know how, obviously, Lamine Yamal, how good he was, unless Barca gave him a chance in the first team and said, you know what, you're 16, but here's your chance. Let's see what you can do in it. And you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you got to give these players a chance. Otherwise, you just never know, man, if they're ready or not. Of course, allegedly, Zinchenko wanting to leave himself, but now Arteta has convinced him to stay. Yeah, bro, I had a feeling that potentially he might be staying, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I just think there's not really kind of a plethora of teams after him, and potentially he could be staying, man. And which I don't know about that, if I'm being honest. I feel like we've kind of moved up past him in terms of what he provides defensively in that left back position, and obviously the inverting thing. I think Mazu Skelly has a better mixture of both. I think he can invert himself, but defensively he's a bit more stable. And obviously physically as well, he can get back in position. He doesn't really get bullied as much as Zinchenko does in terms of strength-wise. So, yeah. But yeah, it's the wages, man. It's the wages. We can't really get rid of the wages for sure. Rodrigo is a Liverpool target with a laughing emoji. I mean, if you get him as well, listen, I'm not going to say too much, man. We're going to be in the top 4 race most likely. Listen, at the minute, unless we sort out that kind of left, I think potentially we might be still, even though we've got the striker in. I just think that left is so stagnant, and it's all now. It feels like it's just dependent on if we can create chances for Gyökeres and if Saka has a good game on that right, or Ben White. If they don't have a good game, because again, Odegaard's not really creating anything. You're looking at that left, nothing's happening on that left. We were kind of really easy to read, man. So yeah, I agree, bro. I feel like if we don't get two players in that left, I think potentially it's going to be probably City and Liverpool, if I'm being honest, man. But yeah, we'll see. We will see, man. Big up everyone in the building, man. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe. I wonder why it's such a weird decision to sell Palmer. I can't lie. You know what it was? Like I said, bro, I feel like in hindsight, it's probably easy to say that now. But at the time, I remember thinking, how are they getting 45 mil from this guy? Because again, at that period of time, he hadn't really done anything in the obviously he didn't get a chance to be fair to him, but he hadn't really done anything in that like first team level for Manchester City. I think the most he actually did was like the week before where he scored against Arsenal in the Community Shield. And I think he scored it it was the Super Cup, and they won that as well. And then that's when he obviously got sold during the last week of the transfer window. But yeah, he hadn't really done a lot in terms of first team football other than those kind of two things. So, but then obviously now you look how good he is. That's why it's easy to be like, how can you sell him? But sometimes that just happens, man. Sometimes. Obviously, Pep just thought maybe he had obviously a plethora of options in that position. He did have Foden, he did have De Bruyne at the time. Bernardo Silva obviously was better informed then. So yeah, I think it all just depends on the situation at the time, at the moment in time. Sorry, how players really kind of adapt to obviously Pep's system and stuff like that. And again, fair play to Palmer. I think it was more Palmer really pushing to move rather than City wanting to sell him. I think Palmer literally gave him an ultimatum: start me in these games or I want to leave, kind of thing. So I think it's more Palmer pushing him an exit really rather than City just like wanting to sell him, kind of thing, bro. But yeah, big up yourself, man. So what do you think happened to Martinelli 2 years ago? He was electric. Now he's just the same old. I mean, someone actually put a post about, and I actually completely forgot, a couple of seasons ago, where he was actually playing really, really well. And the season where we bottled the top four, it was that season. He actually had an ankle injury. I completely forgot about this. And he missed like the start of pre-season, I think, about that. And ever since that kind of ankle injury, the start of that season, he's just not been the same. I don't know if that's got anything to do with it. But for me personally, I think there's a couple of things. I think it's tactically, again, I will defend him a little bit. I don't think anyone on that left-hand side gets a lot of help in terms of what Arteta wants them to do tactically. There's not a lot of obviously fullbacks that overlap. Miles Lewis-Skelly does it occasionally, but not on a regular basis. And then that left-sided eight isn't really a progressive kind of passer or someone that's really aggressive in that position. You look at Marino, who's kind of defensive, really just goes back, doesn't really kind of play any forward passes. Then you look at Rice, who's in the eight, doesn't like using his left foot, not really a progressive passer anyway with his right foot. So yeah, you've not really got that kind of skill set in that left eight to really kind of, because you need a player like Xhaka really that kind of releases you into space, and then you're through one-on-one or you're through with your fullback into an area where you can obviously impact the game. Martinelli doesn't get that from anyone, so he kind of just gets the ball out wide. He has to try and beat his fullback, maybe put a ball into the box. It's very, very formulaic, very standard, and I think for me, he kind of needs a little bit more help. He needs someone that's going to overlap, obviously make some space for him so he can cut in and shoot, or obviously overlap so he can pass to, etc., etc. However, what I will say in terms of Martinelli's own performance, I think his footballing IQ has not improved personally from a couple of years ago. I still see him make the same mistakes, head down, not looking up, not linking up play. Those are some of the point in the AC Milan game where Havertz made an overlapping run, which he should have just literally just slid him in and he would have been through, and he just has a shot against the defender, goes up for a corner. It's like those kind of decision-making kind of skill sets you need. I don't think he's improved on it at all. Do you know what I'm saying? Whether you can execute it or not is different, but he never makes the right decision, if that makes sense, in those kind of transitional moments. So, yeah, I think that element of his game is why potentially we could be looking to sell him on, because I feel like after 2 years at the top level, for you not to improve at all that period of game, that your side of the game, I think is a massive, massive concern, man. But yeah, I just think, again, tactically it's not great. And just him as a player, I just don't think it's improved at all, man. But that's just how it goes, man. Sometimes you get that for sure. But yeah, big up Joseph. It says exactly, really. It says Joseph, big up yourself. Big up RS. It says convincing Zinchenko to stay. That right there is why you can't sell. Why is he begging him to stay? He doesn't use him. He's on 160k. Get him off the wage bill and get your left winger in for F's sake. This is what I'm saying. I completely agree. And obviously, you're not even an Arsenal fan, but it's completely true. And we've seen this before with Arteta. And I think this is one of the things where I do feel like he definitely needs to stay away from. We've seen him obviously convince Eddie Nketiah to stay when arguably we should have let him go and then got a new striker in then. Reece Nelson's the same. Wanted him to stay, 100k a week contract. Didn't use him. Now we're going to loan him out because no one can pay his contract. Tomiyasu, he signed him up to a new contract. And then we ripped it up. So it's like, you like these players, or you're convincing them to stay. But like you said, you're not using them, and potentially they're injury prone, or they're not going to contribute to the team, and then we're ended up ripping up their contracts or loaning them out anyway. Fabio Vieira is another one where I don't want to see that he wants him to like. You just got to get rid of these guys, man. Like, not in an obviously bad way, but you just got to sell them on. Make sure that, listen, these guys are not in a position where you're looking at thinking they're going to actually contribute towards the first team. We're going to move these guys on. Otherwise, you're in a position where, like you said, Zinchenko's here for another 2 years where he doesn't really contribute. And as well, Zinchenko can be very injury prone. Forget about his performance on the pitch. Like, he's not really that reliable either. When you actually think about his injury record for Arsenal, he's been injured for a lot of period of time, man. So yeah, that's another obviously thing you've got to take into account. So yeah, I agree with you, bro. I think you got to be trying selling these guys on, man. Get them off the wage bill and then get players in that are obviously younger, on less money, and then hopefully can contribute because you're going to use them, man. But yeah, I said sad part is it'll be Noni or Eze if we get him. Yeah, I know. I feel like for me, Eze needs to be in that kind of 10 creative, kind of 8 kind of role, and then we need to get a proper left winger. No matter way, he should be the right winger cover, man, and that should be it. Do you know what I'm saying? That should be it, man. Martinelli is just a speed merchant, doesn't seem to have a good football brain. Yeah, you know what it is? I feel like Martinelli, he's more of a striker. He's more of an out-and-out striker, so he doesn't have a football IQ. It's for a winger, that like touchline winger who can get past his man, get to the byline, make the right decisions in those kind of situations. He's just more thinking like a striker. So if it's like playing Inzaghi on the left or something like that, he's just going to be running, trying to get into the box kind of thing, rather than thinking, okay, should I cut it back? Should I link it up? Kind of, do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I think potentially we're playing him out of position anyway, but yeah, I just don't think he's adapted to that kind of different style for sure. Big up, Latvian says changed times 2. That doesn't cater to his style. Then his injuries, lost confidence. Yeah, I agree with all of that, man. I agree with all of that. Injuries, confidence, obviously him not improving himself. No, okay, yeah, I agree with all of that, to be fair. Big up yourself, Latvian Gunner. And it says, big up, Varol says, Darren, as much as people are going crazy over Paul getting Isak, we only played them twice for the league. If Victor does what it's expected, I don't fear them. Interesting. I mean, the thing is, Varol, that's a very obviously a different perspective. But I think for me, it's more the fact that obviously Liverpool potentially now are going to get more points because they've got Isak in there, where when Salah has a quiet game, which is very rare, but sometimes he might have a quiet game. Now you got Isak to step up and be the kind of the star of the show, the man in the match. And those kind of games where they might be drawing, like for example, they drew 2-2 at home with Fulham. That might be a win. They lost away to Fulham. That might be a win. Like these kind of games which they drop points, a few games that they drop points, obviously because they won the league, that they could turn them into wins. So then you're looking at Arsenal thinking we're going to have to win the majority of our games. Like people forget, just because obviously last season it was a bit lower in terms of points tally. Seasons before, bro, with Liverpool and Man City, sometimes with Liverpool and Arsenal, but more, sometimes with Man City and Arsenal, but more with Man City and Liverpool, you had to win 30 games out of 38 to really be in the conversation to win the league, which means you can only drop points in 8 games, which is crazy when you think about it. So if you get to that kind of levels again, bro, it's going to be very difficult for anyone to even challenge, man. Because when you're looking at that 90-point tally, bro, you have to one draw, it feels like you've lost the league. It's bro, you don't want to get back to that mentality. It's crazy, but potentially that might be the case again if Man City turn up, if Liverpool are proper. Well, they were proper last season, but they didn't really have to push themselves extra hard because again they were just ahead for the majority of the season. So yeah, there's a lot of things to really think about it for sure. We got Lucy Garcia says Newcastle and Benjamin Sesko have come into an agreement over personal terms. Is that true? Crazy stuff, man. It's looking very likely, man. Looking very likely. It says plus they may have a balance issue with so many stars who want the ball. If they get Isak, it's a better chance for us to get Rodrigo. I mean, yeah, I like the positivity, bro. I do like it, man. Hopefully you're right. Hopefully we do get Rodrigo, but I'm not too sure if I'm being honest, man. I feel like again, it would take a lot of us. It would take Arsenal to sell a massive player like Martinelli for a massive piece of money for us to really be in contention if you want to get Eze as well. But in terms of what you're saying, yeah, it's true. That is definitely another perspective to look at it. Just because, again, you've got Isak doesn't mean it's all going to be amazing, guaranteed, because we've seen it with Mbappe. I remember when they Real Madrid got Mbappe, everyone was like, oh, Real Madrid are winning the Champions League, they're winning La Liga. They've got Rodrigo, Mbappe, Vinicius, and they won neither. They didn't win any because the balance was just off. Like all of those players wanted to play on the left, basically. And yeah, they didn't win anything. So yeah, it is very important to try and create the balance of the team. Just because they're star names on paper and they're good players individually doesn't mean they can work well together. Guaranteed, isn't it? You would think they should do, but yeah, it's not always guaranteed. Football doesn't always work like that. So yeah, it's a very good point to bring up. But for me personally, I think it will work. I think Isak's so versatile. He can play on the left. He can play up front where Salah is. That's on the right is his thing. So I don't think they're even going to be kind of not interfering with each other. But again, I think they're going to be having different kind of job roles and stuff in the team. So yeah, I think potentially it's going to be a very good team. But yeah, it's good to have a different perspective as well, brother. So big up yourself for the comment. Getting there. There's Isak right there. If they have Sesko, let's go. It's looking highly likely they're going to be getting him, brother. Highly likely, man. Big up normal guy. It says good morning from the US. Big up yourself, normal guy. Big up for being in the chat, man. Appreciate you in the building for sure. Big up Sean. He says, I can't lie. If Madueke bangs on the left wing, then Martinelli should just leave because they are of the same age. Man has just stagnated. I can't watch another full season of this version of Nelly. Yeah, it's sad to see because Martinelli was definitely one of my favorite players for sure. Even obviously when we bought the title, I think he was our standout player during that running where he was trying to drag the team from making sure they don't drop any more points. But obviously we weren't good enough to do that. But yeah, I think you're right, man. The last 2 years, he's just not got better, man. He just does the same mistakes. He makes the same errors in terms of in front of goal. Again, I don't think the system helps him, which I will defend him on that. I think a lot of people will struggle on that left considering kind of the setup he actually has. But at the same time, you got to look at his own performances and be fair and be like, you know what? You as an individual have not produced enough quality performances yourself as well as goals and GA. And that's kind of the issue, man. It wouldn't be a case if he was only getting like 8 goals, for example, but his actual performances were really, really good. I can't remember too many good performances from him, if I'm being honest, man, last season, like where he actually played well. I remember the Leicester game where we won 4-2. I think the Aston Villa game he played well when we drew 2-2 at the Emirates at home. They're the two in the top of my head that I can't actually remember. From a whole season, which ain't great. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, he scored goals in the games, but in terms of actual performances, man. So, yeah, it's definitely something that you've got to look at, man. But, yeah, we'll have to see what Madueke does, man, for sure. Big up Mix Mitchell. Says, Seska has agreed personal terms at Newcastle. He's at to Liverpool with a love. Listen, bro, if you get Isak, man, listen, it's a quality signing, I think, personally, man. Top signing. Liverpool also won many games by 1 goal, so they were close. This attack could crush many teams by a lot more goals. Again, exactly, very good point, RS. I think for me, when you look at some of the games you did win by, like I said, by 1 goal, potentially you could turn those into 3 or 4-0 wins. And again, goal difference could be a major factor in the title race, considering Manchester City used to score loads of goals. Arsenal in the past have. I know they haven't before, obviously last season. Well, again, with Victor Gyökeres, you assume they're going to score a bit more goals now. So, yeah, I think that will be very, very key. And also, like I said, in those kind of big 6 games, man, where it's been kind of tight, again, 2 draws with Arsenal, 1 draw with Manchester United. So, yeah, those kind of draws, you could turn them into wins for sure with Isak in there because Isak can score against big teams and does perform in big games as well. So, yeah, big up Luis Garcia. It says some reports said that Klopp was convincing Sesko to join Newcastle over United. Looks like it's true. Bro, if that's true, that's crazy, man. That's actually crazy. That's nasty work. That's nasty work from Klopp. I'll be real. Nasty work. We got RS. He says all Liverpool so all Liverpool's front 3 will play in the 3 spots, though. It looks balanced, not like Real Madrid. And this is why I said, man, again, for me, Isak's more of a kind of a balance, and Ekitike as well, to be fair. They both can play on the left. They both can play up front. So I feel like they're a bit more versatile than kind of an Mbappe, who, let's be honest, his best position is on the left. He plays up front, but he just out to the left anyway. Vinicius' best position is on the left. Rodrigo's best position is on the left. So, yeah, you look at all those players, all those kind of players. Oh, Ornstein Bomber. Oh, my days. Oh, my days. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Oh, I already know what this is going to be about, man. Oh, my days, man. Let me check this out, man. Big up everyone in the building, man. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel, man. What is going on, people? On-Steam Bomber card. Big up Carlos as well for the heads up, man. Of course it's about Chelsea, man. Chelsea closing in on the deal to sign Gerald Hato from Ajax. Agreement between Chelsea and Ajax yet to be reached, but getting nearer. Compromise expected in the coming days above 40 million euros. Personal terms in place for the 19-year-old Netherlands defender. So they're closing in on Gerald Hato. Apparently very good, obviously, reviews in terms of his defending and very versatile as well. Can play centre back, right back, left back, etc., etc. So, yeah, this could be a guy that maybe gets more game time than you actually even realize, man. Especially because, again, Chelsea's defense, there is obviously space there for someone to really pop in that centre back position with Fofana always injured and stuff. So, yeah, very interesting, man. Very interesting. But, oh, man, crazy, crazy, man. But, yeah, could be a good signing for Chelsea, if I'm being honest, man. Could be a very good signing. Big up everyone in the building, man. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel as always. Big up Mix Mitchell. Can't even get off here now. Agent Klopp looking out for Liverpool and screwing Man United. Yeah, that's crazy. Man said Ornstein Bomber. Big up Viral. It says, Darren, my point is if we win our games and stay close to the top, many things can happen, like injuries to top players, like what happened to us. Listen, anything can happen in the season for sure, man. But again, I feel like for me, it's very important for Arsenal to really get their team sorted and obviously do their best like they can. Like, again, if you've got getting in positions where you've got some kind of areas that are not really sorted out, then obviously it's very highly unlikely you're going to win the league, man. I feel like you're going to have pretty much a perfect squad to really kind of challenge for the top end, especially if Liverpool getting that kind of 85, 90, 95 kind of points tally, man. You're going to have a proper squad to match it. Big normal guy, man, said, dang, we're laughing emoji. Obviously, Carlos is gassed, potentially getting Hato and obviously Simmons as well. It's crazy. Carlos, I respect Chelsea in the window, but do you not ever feel crap that very rarely develop your academy and not only buy players, or do you really not care? That's a good question for Carlos to answer. Big up ST. Says, was watching the Dark Knight Rises last night. Ain't no way that came out in 2012. Yeah, it did, bro. I swear I watched it with you, bro. I'm pretty sure I watched it. It was me. I'm sure I watched it with you in 2012. I'm sure I did, man. I know Jared was there. I'm sure you were there as well. Because obviously I remember I was gassed for it because obviously 2008 Dark Knight is my favorite film ever, isn't it? So I remember thinking, the sequel's gonna be mad. Obviously, even though R.I.P. Heath Ledger, he died, obviously. But yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure it was 2012 where it did come out, man. But I can't. Yeah, I'm sure you were there, man. I'm sure you were there. ST says, "What do you mean with a question mark?" Obviously, so ST said, "I respect Chelsea in the window, but do you not ever feel crap that you really very develop your academy?" So I think he's talking about obviously some of the players that you sell for big money, potentially that you buy. Maybe that obviously. Maybe you buy and sell on before they get a chance in the first team. I think that's what it means. Where potentially you could see them develop and there might be an amazing player where it kind of saves you buying someone else for a massive piece of money. I think it depends how you look at it. Because obviously Chelsea buy a lot of players and obviously develop a lot of players at the same time. So maybe it's a thing where because you're not actually you're still developing some of the players from your academy, you're not really seeing the kind of the negative side of kind of letting players go, especially because you're getting good money for them. And again, it's kind of the unknown with Chelsea players that obviously have not gone into the first team. If they're going to be good or not, let's be real, not every player that comes from the academy is at the obviously Chelsea level or at the Premier League level. Some players just not going to be good enough, unfortunately, and will not make it. So I think from that point of view, unless you are, at least you are getting some money for them at that period of time. But yeah, I said, Dark Knight Rises is my favorite film of all time. Okay, listen, I can't knock it, man. I think they're both sick. To be fair, I think they're both sick. I think for me, that the Heath Ledger character, the Joker, bro, is just what kills it for me in the second one, man. But yeah, I think Bane is underrated, man. I think Tom Hardy did a sick job. To be fair, as well, I think he's a sick villain as well, man. But yeah, big up obviously ST for the comment. Big up Carlos says literally times 3 players against PSG, Reece James, Chalobah, and this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, man. So it's not like you don't have players that are coming through that are contributing in it. So I don't think you probably miss a few players that don't obviously make it through the mustard, man. But yeah, I said Liverpool have scheduled a meeting with Newcastle this week for Isak. Liverpool, I hope to convince Newcastle with a £120 million offer plus bonuses. If you can get it for 120 mil, bro, oh my lord, that is crazy, man. I'm sad Diaz has gone, but maybe Isak. It's crazy. Gallagher, Mount, Tommy Abraham, Tomori, Matson, bro, this bear, Lewis Hall, Livermento, a lot of these guys played and on one here. Yeah, for sure. Listen, this is what I'm saying, man. There's not a thing where obviously you don't have academy players that come through and obviously contribute towards the first team, to be fair. So I think you do have a decent balance with selling them and obviously bringing them through as well. Big up Carlos says, like, yeah, I can't believe it came out in 2012. It looks so much. Yeah, bro. You know what it was? I think that was one of the, I think the Dark Knight as well. They were the first two to kind of film like IMAX. Obviously, IMAX is like a big thing now where literally every big film is filmed in IMAX now. But back then, it's kind of a rarity. And I feel like it's only a few scenes, like a couple of scenes at the start in the Dark Knight Rises where obviously Bane's falling off a plane or whatever. That's like IMAX. I think one of the scenes in Dark Knight where Batman's trying to go to, I think, Hong Kong to get one of the kind of the fugitives over there is filmed in IMAX as well. So that's why I feel like it kind of merges in right now, because obviously now they're using the kind of the same kind of camera work than they were using back then. But yeah, bro, 2012, it's just gone rapid if I'm being honest, man. But now, man, yeah, you definitely were there, man, for sure. You definitely were there because Catwoman's in it and whatnot. Yeah, I remember. But it says, yeah, Tom Hardy was elite. Yeah, he was top level, man. I felt sorry for him because again, because obviously Heath Ledger was amazing as well. I think people were kind of expecting kind of a similar kind of character, but again, Bane is very, very different in it. But I still feel like his portrayal of that kind of villain was sick. Kind of like a mob gangster, a bit like kind of, bro, it was cold. It's so cold. And obviously, again, it's very, very influential because he's seen the likes of Victor Gyökeres doing the celebration based off the fact that he liked Dark Knight Rises, in it, and Bane in it. So yeah, man, top film, man. I might have to watch it myself, to be fair. I've got it all on. I think I've got it on 4K somewhere, so I'll have to dash it on, man. But yeah, big up yourself. Anyway, massive fair play, Carlos. I didn't realize how many you actually had from the development from the academy. We're laughing. Massive, the stadium scene in the Dark Knight Rises. What, bro? Sensational scene, bro. This is what I'm saying. Sensational scene, brother. That one, and obviously in the Dark Knight, the hospital one as well. That's a sick scene as well, bro. There's bearing both, man. But yeah, that stadium scene's crazy, man. But yeah, and some of obviously his quotes, obviously Bane's quotes are obviously iconic. Same with the Joker one, why so serious and all those kind of guys. How we got these scars. So yeah, both of them are proper epic films, man, for sure. I said, LOL, we've done bare, just not good enough in my opinion. I think what Chelsea do best is get rid of the right. Yeah, I agree. Gay at the time had to leave to develop. Same with Matson, but we could do better with our attackers. Tyreek George will leave next on loan. He'll have to. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a few people, obviously, talk about Tyreek George, saying they don't know whether he's good enough to obviously be at the starting level. Sorry. So yeah, maybe a loan is probably good for him to obviously improve his development, man. But yeah, I listen. I like Chelsea and I'm an Arsenal fan, but yeah, I have to agree. You do sell them at the right time and for a decent amount of money. You look at someone like Conor Gallagher, selling them at the right time, got a decent amount of money for him. Mason Mount, 60 mil. Amazing amount of money for him. Kai Havertz, 65, amazing amount of money. Madueke, obviously this is Arsenal's fault for buying half of these players, but again, 52 mil. So definitely a lot of teams could definitely learn from how to sell a bit better, man, because again, I feel like that allows you to spend more in the net spend kind of region, man. So yeah, man, it is what it is. I said I'd rather keep George than sign Garnacho, potentially as well. Yeah, I think again, and this is what I'm saying, man. And I feel like I said it with obviously Saka. Like we spent 75, 72, sorry, on Nicolas Pepe at the time, where potentially we could have just not spent that and just let Saka develop at the time, and then we would have just saved ourselves 72 mil because Saka was ending up being better than him. So yeah, I agree, man. Sometimes in your academy, sometimes in your academy, man, it's better to obviously just kind of not even wait, but try and develop a certain player rather than going out and splashing a load of money on another player. Because sometimes, man, your academy is actually better than the players that are out there as well. So yeah, man, obviously that is let me go on for Fabrizio Romano. Obviously that's him dropping the exclusive about Hato on the 23rd of July. Obviously some news about Gabriel Jesus. He says no reports ongoing between Flamengo and Arsenal for Gabriel Jesus at this stage, despite reports. So yeah, obviously there was a lot of news that came out over the weekend about Gabriel Jesus being willing to go back to Brazil, even though he's injured, and Arsenal willing to get rid of him, but obviously sell him, loan him out with an obligation to buy or option to buy, which potentially, again, I wasn't really even obviously anticipating because, again, he's injured. I don't think he's going to be back till November, December time. Obviously, he did his ACL. That's normally a 6 to 12 month kind of spell out the door. But yeah, potentially he could be out the door on a loan with an option to buy. For me, again, it's very difficult to, obviously, one, he's injured, and two, he's on so much money. So I feel like selling him for a piece of money is going to be very, very hard to do. Let's be honest, man, because he's not even going to be ready for the start of the season, and he's on 265. So yeah, he's on a lot of money, man. Yeah, so that's going to be a difficult one to achieve, in my opinion. If he manages to get that over the line, Burton, man, I have to say fair play, because again, I was not expecting him to be sold, because I just felt he's just on too much money and he's injured. Who's going to buy an injured player on that much money, man? So yeah, it's crazy, man. Big up everyone in the building, man. Big up ST says RIP. Heath Ledger, no jokers have come close. Oh no, not for me, man. I didn't really like the Phoenix one. You know what? I think the first film was good. I did not like the second one. I feel like that musical number kind of killed it for me. I just thought it was terrible. I'll be honest, man. I think the first film was a good. I think the first film was a good film. It was a good film in terms of the origin of the Joker. I think it kind of highlighted obviously mental health and stuff like that. It was a nice little element they went about it. But in terms of the actual Joker performance, in that it wasn't really the Joker, was he? He was more kind of building up to it, and obviously he ended up putting the face paint on towards the end. So yeah, I agree. I think for me, that is the greatest comic book villain of all time, that Joker, man. I know you've got obviously Thanos, obviously Bane as well. You've got a few others. I think Lex Luthor obviously in the last Superman film that obviously I watched the other day. I thought that was a very good adaptation for Lex Luthor. Sorry. But yeah, I think that Heath Ledger Joker, man, is top tier, man, for me personally. Scheduled Liverpool schedule Alexander Isak transfer meeting as a mega contract agreement reached. Ay, man, it's picking up steam, man. It's picking up steam. And LOL, I can't lie, you take Garnacho. I don't really rate him like that. I'll be real, man. I don't really rate him like that personally. I think, yeah, I don't really rate him like that. I can't lie, man. But yeah, big up yourself, ST. It says, big up Dabby T. It says, no way back for Isak now. Thanks for the memories. We move on. Nobody's bigger than the club. Just found this channel. Seems normal. LOL. Unlike some others. Big up yourself, Dabby T, bro. Big up for being in the chat, man. Make sure you subscribe and like the video. Obviously, I do morning shows every morning, 9 a.m. and obviously some afternoon shows as well. But big up yourself, bro. Yeah, man. We're just talking about football in general, man. No kind of biasness and whatnot. I just like to be balanced and just talk about football in general between obviously different clubs and that. So yeah, big up yourself for being in the building, man. Hopefully Newcastle can get a decent replacement. Obviously you're looking at Sesko and Wissa. I think if you get the both of them, I think that's kind of probably the best transition you can make, if I'm being honest, with losing Isak so far in the window. Because again, a player like Isak, if they're going to be sold, you think it's probably going to be early on in the window so Newcastle can get their replacements. You're probably heading in towards probably August now, which, again, doesn't leave you a lot of room to really kind of get a proper adequate replacement, man. So, yeah, probably Sesko and Wissa as a combined two is probably the best you could probably do. Big up Carlos, he says, yeah, ST, we play 16-year-old Reggae Walsh in the Conference League as well. Josh, I don't know how to say his last name, has played this season too. So yeah, you played a few games, a few developing players as well. So yeah, that's fair. You lot have specifically in developed right and left backs. Yeah, man, they do. Livramento, Hall, James. I really wanted that academy striker, but Tuchel phased out Tommy. Yeah, man, I think academy strikers are hard to obviously get. Obviously, you know, everyone, the main one is obviously Harry Kane is probably the main one in the last 10 years that have really come for fruition. Well, academy strikers are really hard to develop because, again, there's a lot of pressure on scoring goals. Unless you're scoring quite regularly, I think that probably the key is probably loaning them out a few times, making them score in maybe like League One or the Championship. So when they come into the first team, they can actually contribute straight away. So I think that's probably the most difficult probably position to really develop, man. Because again, the expectation on a striker is to be good at scoring goals at the off, whether you're 18, 19, 20. If you're not obviously providing that kind of quality, fans want new strikers to come in that obviously are a bit more advanced or developed and stuff like that. And then that kind of striker that needs game time gets pushed down the pecking order and on the bench or doesn't really get played in it. So yeah, very difficult position for a top team anyway, I'm talking about. To really develop a kind of a striker from the academy, and then they're kind of your starting striker. I think Tommy did very well at the time, to be fair. I think he got like 15 Premier League goals or something like that, which was decent, considering that was his first kind of starting season as a starting striker. But yeah, it just wasn't really developed on for sure, man. But big up yourself for the comment. Latvian Gunner says the best villain is Kevin from look at all the damage he caused on the pain to Harry and Marv. Bro, Home Alone, man. Great. Which one's your favorite, bro? Home Alone 1 or 2? I think 2 is my favorite. The one in New York. But yeah, Home Alone 1 is funny as well, man. Yeah, they're both 1 and 2 are top. After that, yeah, forget about it, man. But yeah, Davy T, it says fans are tribal. We feel let down if a player doesn't want to wear the shirt. That's all fans. Sometimes we need to look at the bigger picture. Yeah, listen, man. I feel like again. With Isak, man, I think at least with Isak, bro, I think he's given his all at the club, and at least he's provided you with memories you can live forever. You winning your first trophy in obviously 70 years it with the League Cup, and obviously getting into the Champions League, obviously a competition that you've not been in regularly the last 20 years. Obviously, this is the second time in the last 2 or 3. So yeah, I think at least he's contributed to the club in terms of that way with his goals, obviously his performances, scored eventually the winner in the final. And again, I think everyone can obviously understand that certain players are not going to be at the club forever. Do you know what I mean? They are going to be moved on. So as long as you get a lot of money for him, and as long as you get some adequate replacements in for him, I think potentially you can say, you know what, fair play. It's been a successful transfer. We've got, you know, double the amount of money we paid for him, and we've had a top kind of level player, and also he's contributed in major finals, stuff like that. So yeah. But yeah, man, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. It says, Big got ST says, Dava, what are your thoughts on how Isak has gone about it? Do you still respect him as a Newcastle fan? He did help you win a trophy. Yeah, listen, I mean, Davy, obviously, Davy can obviously answer that for you, ST. But yeah, in terms of my opinion, I think he you know what, he's done his fair bit, and maybe this is probably what was always going to prompt a sale, because again, I don't feel like Newcastle were ever going to obviously promote that Isak was for sale, because he's a top player, and obviously you want to keep him as long as possible. So it was always going to take Isak to come out publicly and say, you know what, I'm looking to move on now, for teams to really be serious in terms of bidding for him. Otherwise, you're just going to be hit with that. This is going to be 150 mil. Teams are going to be put off saying, well, we don't really want to spend majority on our budget on one player if he doesn't even want to leave. So the player has to say he wants to go, kind of thing. So yeah. Yeah, ST Lewis Hall, I wish we kept him, but he's a Geordie. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, again, even Livramento, obviously, he's gone on to do good things. But again, I feel like with these kind of players, sometimes they have to move to show how good they are. Sometimes, even at your club, they might not even get a chance or a regular chance to really prove how they're top quality. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Unfortunately, for their career, they have to kind of move on to another team. Big up Davy T says, ST, we thank him for what he's done for us, but after the anger, there is now acceptance, and the feelings we had for him has now gone. He said he was staying after the Carabao. Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, a lot of players do that, Dava, bro. They do say, "Oh, we're staying," or "We're not going to leave," or "I can see me being at this club for a long time," and then obviously things change. Obviously, again, no teams come in for them when they're not expecting it. Because I don't think he probably was expecting Liverpool to be serious, especially after probably seeing them buy Wirtz. He's probably thinking, well, they bought Wirtz now. They're probably not going to spend another record fee, which is going to probably take it for me to go there. I'll probably stay in at Newcastle for another season, especially with him having three years left. But now they've obviously made their intent very, very clear and well known. I think that's kind of prompted him to be like, you know what, we really need to kind of give a move on, man, and try and obviously get this over the line, kind of thing. Bill ST says that's a shame, but I respect it. Us rival fans can't tell Newcastle fans how they should feel. Yeah, 100%, man. I think again, it's obviously their relationship between obviously the player that's obviously provided a lot of good moments for them, and obviously the fans in it. And again, if they've had some kind of patch where they kind of thought he was going to stay and now he's leaving abruptly, it's kind of, again, they might feel a little bit betrayed or a little bit disappointed and hurt and stuff like that, which is fair enough, because again, it's their kind of player in it. But yeah, at least again, the good thing about it, at least it's a thing where it's not just kind of scored goals and you kind of not done anything. I think that's what's happened with a lot of other kind of teams and stuff, where a player scored a load of goals, they've not really achieved anything major. Because even when you look at kind of someone like a Harry Kane, like he ended up he scored all those goals for Tottenham, but didn't win a trophy with them. At least Isak can say he's won a trophy with you guys, even in the space of two years or whatever. So yeah, I think that's, or 3 years, or 2.5 years. So yeah, that's kind of the good thing about that for you guys, for sure, man. Big up everyone in the building, man. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new, man. But yeah, with the Isak thing, let me get back to it just and finish it off, man. So yeah, it says Eddie Howe on Isak's future at Newcastle. Newcastle boss Eddie Howe addressed the speculation over Isak's future ahead of the club's pre-season friendly against Arsenal on Sunday. He is now in Newcastle getting his injury assessed. Hopefully he'll be back soon and playing in a black and white shirt, and that's what we want to see, said Eddie Howe. Of course, things are happening, going on behind the scenes. Conversations that happen between Alex and ourselves, and Alex and the club will stay private. He's very popular in the dressing room and would love to him to continue his journey at Newcastle. There are no contract talks taking place. That will be for a later date potentially. I certainly hope he stays. It's football. Who knows what the future will bring? So yeah, I feel like again he's kind of just prepping obviously Newcastle fans up in terms of potentially he might not stay, because he's not staying. Because before he was very bullish. He was like he's definitely staying. This was like last week. He was definitely staying. There's no kind of chances of him leaving the club. He'll be with us at the start of the season. Now it's kind of like, I would really love for him to stay. So it's kind of more like a plea rather than actual kind of definite. He's definitely staying at the club. So yeah, definitely a change in tack for sure. It says, speaking after the game, which Arsenal won 3-2, it says Howe said there was no chance that Isak would join. This is what I'm saying. There was no chance he would join in the preseason tour for Newcastle's final 2 games in South Asia. So he's gone from saying it's no chance that he's going to leave the club to now it's no chance he's going to be on the preseason tour. So that's a massive shift. Liverpool tipped to sign Isak after 12-month pursuit. Stan Collymore has predicted Isak will end up at Liverpool and believes the club have been pursuing him behind the scenes for 12 months. I can only see Isak joining Liverpool if he does leave Newcastle, which is now expected. I think he has been something that has been going on probably for about 12 months. I expect the expectation for Newcastle is that he's going to get that it was going to be next season, but the other clubs were going to bid. But yeah, a lot of fans will want him to be sold abroad, but it doesn't work like that. If the player says that they're going to down tools, unless you give me a particular club, it's very, very difficult for the club. Arsenal, Manchester United have been previously linked with Isak, but the Gunners have spent 64 on Victor Gyökeres. Isak would likely have major reservations about joining Man United, who finished 15th in the Premier League last summer. Ruben Amorim is keen for a new striker, however, and has been discussed 2 targets after missing out on the former Sporting star Victor Gyökeres, man. So yeah, that's kind of the issue there about with obviously Victor Gyökeres. Sorry, not Victor Gyökeres, with obviously Isak and Eddie Howe. But yeah, potentially it could be a thing where Fabrizio Bomba, oh my lord, I can't keep up with these bombers, bro. I'm telling you. I'm guessing it's about Hato again, man. I assume. But big up everyone in the building, man. Make sure you guys like up the video and subscribe to the channel. All that good stuff. If you are new as well, I've not seen that bomber, bro. And about okay. Chelsea maintained total confidence to sign both Hato and Javi Simmons. Negotiations continue this week after with Ajax after total agreement with Hato last week. Deal close. Javi Simmons wants Chelsea in talks with them. RB Leipzig and structure of the deal is ongoing. So yeah, it looks like by the time the season starts, you're probably going to be getting these 2 players in, which again will be very good additions on top of Liam Delap, on top of João Pedro, and obviously Gittins as well, man. So yeah, Chelsea are doing their thing, man. I can't lie, man. Chelsea are buying some good players. Obviously, that's João Felix are going to Al Nassr with Cristiano Ronaldo, which kind of a random deal, man. Came out of nowhere, but yeah, crazy. Big old ST, he was never in the same admiration as Bruno, Joe Linton, Tonali. Liked but never not loved. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Liked but not loved. That's very interesting, man. I wonder why that was, bro. Why was he never liked? Was it because, again, you kind of knew that he wasn't going to be staying on for a long period of time? Master Fabrizio Bomba. Sounds like Isak will go for sure. Yeah, looks like it, Andrew, man. It looks like he's going to Liverpool. It doesn't look like it, man. Big up David T. He says, my brother-in-law is a Chelsea fan. At the bridge once I celebrated an offside goal for the tune, very drunk. The banner was great. LOL. Yeah, I can imagine, bro. I mean, I've done that before myself, man, celebrating in the home end with the away end is crazy. It's crazy, man. Big up yourself. But yeah, 7 on DR. Big up tops, man. Big up yourself, brother. Hope you're well. Thoughts on yesterday's game overall and plays as well. Yeah, in terms of the overall game, bro, yeah, I felt like it was a nice little test. I think Newcastle had periods of the game where they were very, very good. And I think Arsenal had a spell in the game where they were obviously stepping up the gear. I think it's very even. I think a draw probably would have been a fair result if I'm being honest. Based off the balance of play, I think Newcastle could have been 2 or 3 goals up in the first half before obviously Arsenal scored the equaliser and the own goal. And then Arsenal maybe could have extended their lead before Murphy scored in the second half. And then obviously Newcastle had a few chances after that. So yeah, I think it was kind of even. But I think Max Dowman was kind of the star of the show, really, in my opinion, man. I think him coming on, showing a bit of blistering pace, showing that directness, kind of that confidence as well as a 15-year-old. And yeah, Joe Linton, bro, he's one of the most physical players in the Premier League. And when he's having to foul you because he can't get the ball off you, and he's a physical specimen, man. That's when you know you got something about you, in my opinion, man. So yeah, I think in terms of highlights, obviously it was Max Dowman. I think in terms of obviously the performance, I think it was decent, but again, same kind of weaknesses in terms of the left-hand side. Was obviously very, very obviously again mute. Obviously sour points is Calafiori going off injured again, even though I thought he was playing okay at centre back position. I think again that knee injury is going to be a thing where it's going to be reoccurring, in my opinion, man. I think that's maybe like the 3rd time already at Arsenal that he's gone down with a knee injury. So yeah, that's definitely one to look at, man. I thought potentially we might have to go back into the market for a defender, man, because I just don't think he's reliable, bro. Especially if he's going to be cover or the starting left back, he's just not going to be reliable, in my opinion. I think he's probably going to be having injury issues all season, unfortunately. But yeah, in terms of my overall thoughts, decent. Definitely room for improvement in terms of defensively. And yeah, we go on from there, my brother. But yeah, you have to let me know what you thought of the game as well. Man, put the Saudi flag. Some dodgy dealings between Saudi and PIF and Clear Lake. Also, have given us more money than Saudi. Nah, they have, to be fair. With a laughing emoji. Big up David T. Says his character, his first week, he snubbed some kids wanting autographs. Apparently, he's a really nice lad, but sometimes there's just not that bond. Okay, I get you. I mean, he does seem like a cool, kind of calm, relaxed kind of character in it, which is obviously sick. Because again, I like Isak, man. I think in terms of him as a character and obviously the celebrations and his swag, I think it's very, very cool and calm. But again, I think it depends on kind of the fan base you're at. When I think certain fans definitely like that kind of heart on your sleeve kind of player, like I love the badge. I'm going to do everything for the badge. I don't think Isak's that kind of player anyway. Just regardless if he was at Liverpool, Newcastle, I think he's just very cool, calm, collective, composed. And yeah, maybe that's not really a ban for like a Newcastle fan in particular, man. But yeah, it's a very, very interesting observation you've made, brother. Hopefully you're well. Big up Frankie. Hopefully you're good, my guy. Hopefully you're well. So yeah, what's the other news, man? What's the other news, bro? Let me quickly go on Isak. Not Isak. Where's Diaz, man? But yeah, man, this was obviously announced yesterday. Luis Diaz. Liverpool agree Come on, these ads are killing me, bro. Liverpool agree a £65.5 million sale for Luis Diaz to Bayern Munich. The Colombian keen on the move before flying out to a medical. Arne Slot not looking to replace defender Jarrell Kwanzaa. Okay, that's a bit of a new news. Maybe you're not getting Gay at all then. Oh, that's very strange, man. You've got to be getting a centre back in, surely. That literally leaves you Konate, Van Dijk, Gomez, and then you're going to be playing Endo at the back. Do you know what I'm saying? You've really got three senior defenders, so I ain't sure about that, man. You definitely have to replace him, surely. Maybe that's kind of like a selling kind of tactic to try and be like, we're not going to be bullying into playing what you want to pay because we're not looking to replace him. But yeah, surely you're going to be getting another centre back in, surely. And Liverpool have agreed to sell Luis Diaz to Bayern Munich in a deal worth £65.5 million. The Colombian 28 is poised to fly from Liverpool's camp in Tokyo, having been given permission to travel for a medical with the German champions. Bayern have made Diaz a long-term target and were forced to pay what the English champions demanded as market value. Diaz was keen for a move, having first indicated in the summer of 2024 he was open to a transfer. Liverpool reluctantly decided to sell popular player as a part of a summer reboot of their forward line, having twice offered a new contract to the player who arrived from Porto in 2022. Diaz was left out of the Liverpool's preseason 4-2 defeat to AC Milan in Hong Kong, with Arne Slot confirming the absence was because of a possible transfer. In Diaz's situation, it was, the Liverpool manager said there are a lot of rumors around going lately. I cannot go into that, but he's training really, really well with us, and we have decided for now we will not play him yet. Liverpool paid Porto 45 million euros plus add-ons for Diaz, with only 4 million triggered, bringing his total cost of 49 million euros. That's very, very cheap. That's what, 40 million pounds or something like that. Diaz is expected to depart the Liverpool camp within the next 24 hours. Liverpool are seeking to bring in funds, having spent this summer buying Verts, long-term Bayern target, and Kitike in two of the biggest deals in the club's history, and it's understood they are exploring other deals. They are continuing to be linked with Newcastle's Alexander Isak, who's open to a move from Tyneside. Diaz, who's also been linked with the transfer, did not play the AC Milan game. Also, with the Uruguayan forward, saying that Mossy Slot was saying that it was because of his fitness issues that why he didn't play. The completion of the Diaz deal will mean an approaching 190 mil will have been made in player sales since Richard Hughes became sporting director in 2024. That's sensational bit of money, man. In 1 year, they made 200 mil in sales, and I couldn't for the life of me tell you who they sold. Bar Diaz, I can't remember, bro. they're obviously not key important players. I'm trying to obviously Kwanzaa was one, bro. I literally can't remember who they've sold for that amount of money. It's crazy. Obviously, the Crystal Palace captain, in Hong Kong, Slot affirmed he was happy with the centre-backs despite the sale of Kwanzaa, indicating a vacancy. The Crystal Palace captain, Gay, is the name leading the speculation on that front. Says, I don't think we have a concern at centre-back in terms of depth. I think Gravenberch showed today, by the way, that he can play in that position. I ain't sure about that, bro. Especially because you're going to be dragging Gravenberch out of midfield, which is kind of like a double whammy, in my opinion. Man. Oh, sorry, let me get back to the comments real quick. It's funny how they came for Isak's character now with a laughing emoji. Listen, Zubi got locked up by Tonali. He just sometimes gets his passes off and made some good tackles. I felt like Nord VPN would have been better because he played Winieri with Zubi. He was non-existent. Yeah, potentially, man, potentially. I think, again, it's kind of trying to find the balance between the midfield as well. Because I don't really know what our starting midfield is going to be. If it's going to be Zubimendi, Rice, and Odegaard, or we're going to be waiting to try and bring someone in, and like someone like Eze is going to be in the starting, or Marino is going to be the starting eight. I don't know, man, to be fair. But yeah, Norgard in the first game definitely looked better than obviously in the second game. But again, it's hard to really judge considering it's different kind of personnels and obviously formations and combinations as well, bro. So you see what Liao did to Van Dijk. I saw on their side try to play it down by saying Robbo was at centre back. Not on my watch, he wasn't. Yeah, I seen the goal, bro. He cooked him, right? It's funny because in the AC Milan game against Arsenal, he tried to do the same thing and Saliba just like ushered him out and he went out for a goal kick. But yeah, Van Dijk, I don't know why. Again, Van Dijk's obviously a top player, but that's one of the things he doesn't like do. He doesn't like engaging with obviously fast wingers for some reason. I don't know why. That's kind of thing where he kind of backs off, stands off. Normally, again, they kind of run it out and play themselves, but it was a fantastic goal. But that's my frustrations with Liao, man. I feel like he's just inconsistent. Like some games, he's a mate like that. That's an amazing finish. Like not a lot of players could do that to Van Dijk as well, by the way, in terms of that kind of fast-paced, direct running in the channels, smashing it in the top corner past Alisson. But then in other games, like with the Arsenal game, he was just inconsistent. He would just like not really do too much. So yeah, man. But yeah, I think potentially he could be a player that could be on the move for sure. He says, so me to get $3, you don't have to pay. It's free. Yeah, bro. Don't promote in my chat, brother. Don't do that. Don't do that. Gabe gonna leave on a free, so no 20% for the world champs. Literally, it was Gravenberch centre back with Van Dijk with a laughing emoji. That's crazy. Are Liverpool fans actually trying to say that wasn't Van Dijk's fault? LOL. Listen, I didn't watch the game, innit? So I was just going off what Nessa had said about the centre back thing. But yeah, because I didn't watch. I just seen the highlights in it and just seen bro. The third goal that AC Milan scored was a mad goal, by the way. I can't remember who even scored that. That finish was ridiculous. But yeah. I don't know the team lineup. It was the strong team or what. I seen Salah was there and Sabazz and stuff like that. But yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I watched the game. ST Van Dijk's ass defending. That's a Garrick there. That's nasty. You know. That's a Gary Cahill 2.0 backpedaling merchant. Yeah, that's out of order, man. Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, bro. Six finish, man. 6-6 finish, man. 6-6 finish. Our midfielder has been down. Our midfield has been downgraded. Says Andrew, man. Potentially. Listen, I want to see a few more games with it, if I'm being honest. But yeah, potentially, man. I said Van Dijk more like Sebastian Squalacci is nasty work. Van Dijk getting corned, man. I hear it. Four goals against AC Milan, bro. It's kind of worrying. I'll be real. Especially with Alisson in goal and that. I'll be real, fam. But yeah, obviously it's just preseason in it, man. But we'll see how they get on, man. But I feel like again, what Slot's saying is a massive mistake, if I'm being honest. The fact that you're moving Gravenberch, who was fantastic, especially in the first half of last season, in that kind of number 6 role to play him centre back, where he's not an actual centre back, and now you're losing a proper top midfielder in midfield. I don't think he's it, and especially saying that Endo can play there as well. I don't know about that either, brother. I don't know. Maybe he might work. Maybe he might bang. I don't know, but I'm not really a fan of that. I'm not even a Liverpool fan, but we'll see. We'll see if you actually do end up buying Isak. I think you probably will, man. I just think he's just kind of doing that kind of tactical kind of saying to the media that we're not actually interested into a centre back. So obviously, when it comes to closer to the end of the window, Crystal Palace kind of soften their stance, thinking, you know what, we kind of need to sell this guy because we're going to lose him on a free. Here, you can have him for the 35 kind of thing. So, but we'll see. Obviously, that's all their new signings. Felix obviously departing Chelsea to go to Saudi for a deal that may eventually reach £44 million with an initial 26.2 up front. Felix joined last summer in August, having been at the bridge as a loanee in the second half of the 2022-2023 season. In January, he headed out to AC Milan on loan after just starting 3 Premier League games. And obviously, 6 months or whatever it was, 3 months. Obviously, he cost 127 million euros back in 2019. But his spelling in England hasn't been amazing. 5 goals in 28 appearances for Chelsea. Chelsea signings are Liam Delap, João Pedro Gittins, as well. So should be some more players as well, man. But yeah, interesting, man. I said Machiavelli came on at halftime. Okay, because I was wondering who made the mistake. I've seen the 4th goal in it, and it was kind of a little bit of a mess. So I was wondering who made the mistake, man. But yeah, that makes sense, man. That makes sense. Easiest team to hit on the transition, I think. Listen, I don't know what it is, man. Maybe they're set up in terms of in terms of how they're going to be playing from compared to last season. Might be a little bit different. I'm trying to think in terms of tactically, but again, I think they'll probably lose a lot of structure with Gravenberch in defense than when he's at centre back. I think he was stopping a lot of those kind of transition kind of moves in that number 6 role. So that's why I feel like putting him in centre back, you kind of weakening your team to, like in 2 positions, because the 6 that you're going to put there is not going to be as good as him. And then he's not a centre back, bro. Like, you can play there, I guess, but yeah, you don't want him there for the whole season, would you? So yeah, man, I think that's definitely an issue. And I think potentially, depending on obviously how Gravenberch is in terms of injury record, because again, he was relatively injury free for the majority of last season. I think if this is the case where he's kind of picking up some more injuries this season, it might be a case that where obviously Carlos is right there. Transition wise, it could be very, very good or easy to obviously get on the break, man. But we'll see. We'll definitely see for sure. Yeah, it's very early days to make judgments. Yeah, for sure, man. For sure, brother. Big Andrew says, let's hope we make a few more signings. Yeah, I'm with that too, my guy. I'm with that too. Hopefully we can make some more signings as well. Because again, you're looking at this moment in time, man, where the balance of the team is definitely not quite there. Obviously, Mascara didn't make his debut. He wasn't in the squad. I don't know if that's because of his injury issues or if it's just a fitness thing. So potentially he might be added to the squad for the game against Spurs next. Next week. So yeah, this week actually, it's Monday. Obviously, we played them on Thursday. Bro, the turnaround of the games are actually pretty quick when I think about it, man. Because again, we had a game Thursday, we just had one Sunday, we've got another game Thursday, then we think we've got another game the next week, Wednesday or something. So yeah, we are playing a few preseason games for sure. Davy T says early season predictions: Sunderland to last 3 seasons, summer, autumn, and winter. Oh, it's crazy, man. Yeah, listen, I'm looking forward to that, Davy T, bro. That Sunderland Newcastle derby, I am looking forward to that 100%. And like I was saying before, in like previous streams, I like, obviously, Burnley, I'm not a massive fan of, but again, I'll allow that one. But I like the fact that Leeds and Sunderland are back in. Like, it reminds me of old school Barclays, man, where we had the likes of Bolton and Blackburn, the old school, bro. Yeah, and obviously Leeds and Sunderland were part of that clan normally. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm very, very much looking forward to that game. And in terms of early season predictions, again, I didn't see what everyone does during the transfer market, but I definitely will have Liverpool as title favourites for sure. But Sunderland, to be fair, they're making some good business. If they get Granit Xhaka over the line, they've got a Dinger as well. I think they're trying to get another player as well up front, I think. So yeah, they're making some decent signings, man. So we'll have to wait and see. We got Lavian Guna says early days to make judgments, yet people are already saying Diamond is better than. Yeah, that's crazy, man. They're saying he's the next Messi, saying he's the best player in our team, saying, yeah, man, people need to chill. He had a good cameo, man. But yeah, we just need to see how he goes on. And again, who knows whether it will be a part of the team? Who knows? We've seen this a plethora of time. I remember at Pom, bro, he was scoring goals left, right, and center in the 2015-16 preseason, bro. He got a hat-trick in one game. He scored 2 in another game. He was doing his thing in Asia. He had no bearing on the season whatsoever. I think we loaned him out, I think. So this is what I'm saying. So preseason, sometimes it isn't even a metric of how important a player is even going to be. Reece Nelson always has good preseasons, man. He always does well in America normally or whatever. And then we just never see him play. So, yeah, I think you got to obviously one step ahead, man. Again, he's only 15, for example. So we'll have to wait and see how the club manages development. He'll probably be back in the under 21s for the majority of the season, if I'm being honest. But hopefully he can make some kind of cameo in one of the Carabao Cup games or Premier League games or something. But we will see, man. Pick up everyone in the building, man. Put a laughing emoji. Someone said Zubi Mendy is Vieira's stepson or region. That is nasty. That is so nasty, man. Vieira, you know, that's crazy. Dalman definitely has potential. That's so nasty, fam. But yeah, Dalman definitely does have potential for sure. We just have to manage obviously his game time and how we obviously go about it in terms of playing him on a regular basis, man, for the under 21s, or maybe if we load him out to another team, he might have game time for them. So yeah, who knows? Zubi do is not Vieira. I said Fabio maybe. Yeah, that's crazy. These comparisons always drive me crazy, man. It's like, bro, just let the guy develop, man, or let the guy show what he is before you start saying he's better than this man and better than that man and rare. And you get me? So yeah, it's crazy, man. But it's one of those ones where you just got to look at it thinking, raw. How can obviously this team improve? And again, it's that left-hand side for me, for Arsenal. It's that left-hand side. I think that's going to be very, very crucial, very, very key in terms of what we're going to be doing going forward, man. So yeah, it's a crazy one, man. It's a crazy one, man. Big up everyone that's obviously in the building. as well, man. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel as well. I don't think anyone's even online, bro, if I'm being honest. So I might have to just leave it. So yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna go now. So yeah, big up everyone that's already been in the building, man. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe. I'll be back at 2 o'clock, so make sure you set your notification bell. I'll be back at 2 to talk more transfer news, talk more football news, man. So yeah, put on your notification bell so you never miss a video. Andrew says Fabio is more like it. We got Davy C. He says how is Saka looking fitness-wise? Hopefully his injury troubles are over. You know what? I don't think he's back to his best, nowhere near it, if I'm being honest. Very good question, bro. Big up for the question. I don't think he's back to his best anywhere near it. And this was kind of my worry where he did that hamstring tear, is that is he going to lose his explosiveness? And at the minute, I'm not really seeing it again, if I'm being honest. I feel he's still doing the kind of the combination play with Ben White and obviously Odegaard or Nwaneri and stuff like that. That's still in his game. But that kind of explosiveness of getting like the goal he scored against Liverpool, against Kelleher at the Emirates, that was kind of explosive, innit? It's like a shift, bang, into the top corner. I've not seen him do that yet. Like, it does take a bit longer now to gear up for a shot, which again could be obviously the aftermath of the hamstring injury, surgery, etc. It might take him a long time to get that back. He might never get that back. You know, this is what happens with hamstring injuries. So yeah, I think he's definitely not been at his best for sure. I didn't think he even had a good game. He got man of the match against Newcastle. I don't think he had a particularly good game, if I'm being honest. I think the game before against AC Milan he was decent. But yeah, man, I think it's one of the ones that you got to keep an eye on for sure, bro. But yeah, I think potentially Madueke might play more minutes on the right than we actually think, if I'm being honest, man, because I think they're probably looking at that thinking, you know what, Saka can't do the 60 games a season playing 90 minutes. I don't think he can do that next season, if I'm being honest. He shouldn't have been doing that anyway, if we're being real. So yeah, potentially, man, it could be a thing where he's definitely not going to be playing a load of games, man. But big up, man. Big up everyone in the building, man. Big up David T. Big up yourself, subbed. Appreciate that, you brother. But yeah, I'll be back at 2, bro. So make sure you guys put a notification bell so you never miss a video. Don't hate to play at the game. Until next time, people. Big up everyone in the building. Peace and love. I'm out.